How to make a hinge for an articulated design. Hello everyone, this should be a quick video. I was requested to show the concept of how to make hinges. Now I hope to make a more complete design soon, but this is just for now just a concept. Now every design will be different, and I'm going to use a very basic thing, a simple cube, show how to split it, but the design flow is always the same. What needs to happen is, first of all, if you want something to be able to move, you need to split them into two or more pieces, depending the design, and then you need to create a distance so you don't have friction, you have room to move, how to move it. So the first thing first, I'm going to make the split, how to do it, and again, depends on the design, the different ways to split. You can use stitch and scoop or other tools. For this particular design, it's very basic. I can use the cut with plane option. Now in cut with plane, I'm going to split it upwards down this way, vertically. So I'm going to select the back front, the left right plane, sorry. And I want to add here a distance of 10. So my distance gap will be 10. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to offset it by 5 the plane, so it moves in this direction by 5, and I'm going to save it. Once I save it, you see it saved. You can rename it, but by default it saves it left right -1. So I'm going to add again my left right plane, and now I'm going to offset it by 5 instead of -5. So as you can see over here, we got here a distance between of 10, 5 negative, 5 positive, so a distance of 10. So all I have to do, I have to go to advanced settings and I have to choose the option split object. I want to split the object and I want to fill the cuts. So now once I complete this, what you see over here, we got 3 separate objects. So I'm going to take just the center object and I'm going to rotate it. Obviously there's so many different ways of doing it, but that's basically what I'm doing now. I'm going to rotate it around the Z axis. I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees. So this basically positions this like this. And I'm going to, actually I think this is too thin, I can scale it up a little bit. So instead of 10, let's make it 15. So now I'm going to scale it in this direction to be just 20. So we got this small piece over here that we're going to use as the base to get started between these two pieces. I'm going to isolate this for a second so we can see what's happening. And this is a height of 15, and then the thickness over here, other sides are basically 10. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to go make a cylinder, and I'm going to set it, let's say the default first, roundness, and I'm going to make it by 5. So why am I doing it by 5? Because this is radius, and radius is basically double a size. So radius of 5 is the size of 10, and here we're going to make a size the height of 15, because that's basically what we did over here, the height. So I have this object here. And now I'm going to make a copy of this object, and I'm going to move it by, I think I gave it a distance of 20. So I'm going to move this by 20, and I'm going to group these two objects, and I'm going to align it to this object. So I'm going to go to the align tool, and I'm going to choose to align it to mesh cut 15, whatever it's cut, 1, this object. And I'm going to align it to the middle. Okay, so we got this aligned to this object like this. I'm going to select both of them, and I'm simply going to union them. Now again, there's so many different ways you can make your design and the style of hinges and everything, but for now, that's basically the basic that I'm doing here. And I'm going to select these faces over here, these faces and these faces, and I'm going to go inset. So the goal here is simply to get something inside the hole, and I can make this design separately, but I'm just using it. I'm going to copy this design, simply copying this. So just a reference, how to make this done. And I'm going to add thickness to this copy. So I'm going to add thickness to it. Let's say 20. Actually, the height was 15. Yeah, so 20 should be fine, but it's adding from the top. So I'm going to align it again to this object, which is my union object, union, and align it to the center so it sticks out from both sides like this. Okay, so let's isolate this object for a second, and actually let's see, I think I will need to make a copy of this object. I need to do, okay, so yes, let's first hide this object for a second. I need to hide this away for a second, just this. So I need to, actually no, I do need to make a copy. Thinking now, I'm sorry, I'm thinking I didn't prepare for it, so I'm thinking the flow as I go. Okay, so I need to make a copy of this, and let's just name this copy, not to confuse. Okay, so I take one of this, and then I take I will make a copy of this object also. Of both objects I'll make a copy. So let's copy. Okay, so I take one copy and one copy, and I take the main objects, these main objects, and we're gonna go to stitch and scoop. Actually, I made a copy. I could have done it a different way just to show you. This option here, keep subtracted object. If I chose keep subtracted objects, I wouldn't supposed to make a copy because this basically will keep it, but I didn't do that, so now I already made the copies. So I'm going to delete this, remove this, and let's isolate this so you'll see what happened. It basically cut out these pieces. Okay, so it cut out the hole over here for this kind of hinge part, let's peg, whatever, and then over here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these copies and I'm going to scale them down a little bit so they run a friction, have no room to move. So we're going to make them keep proportion, and we're going to scale it down. Instead of 20, let's say scale it down to something like this. As you can see, we have here a distance so it can move. Let's say even more. Okay, something like this. Now I don't know 3D printing much, so I haven't tested this. We have to test, I don't know, the support structure when you're going to print them, how much it will stick together. We have to remove it. So this design again is not specific. It's basically just a concept there. This flow will be the same, but it has to be tested and has to be research exact sizes, how it should be done, but it's basically just a concept. Okay, so once I have this, I can take all of them together and I can simply group them together, because if you think about it, they do not intersect, because I've cut out a bigger hole and now I scale them down. So they actually don't intersect anything, they're just positioned inside, but they have the hole inside, so this goes in. So if you're going to print this, as long as you don't have a problem with support structure, how to work with this, they should be flexible to be able to move, and you should be able to bend them around, move both sides. Now I've seen some designs where it's basically moving just one side, the rounded part just one side, the other side is completely solid, then you basically just combine this part, and then you don't do it. So for example, if I ungroup this, I mean, yeah, you can basically just do it the other way. Instead of making here rounded also, you just make this bigger and combine it inside here. I can do this for a second. Let's say isolate, instead of doing this rounded part here, but now already done the rounded part, you can just scale this inside to this side, like make it bigger, and basically merge it together like this. So this will be solid and this side connected, and then we'll round just this side. So whichever way you do it, but again, this is not a design specific, it's just a quick video, but that's basically the concept. All the hinges do have a very similar flow. Okay, hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you want me to show anything else. Thank you.